Hey, my name is Nicholas Graham, and this is the podcast project. In this one, I will be talking about variations on a Korean folk song. So, this song, I played it in eighth grade band, and this song was especially hard for my section, the clarinet. Sorry, the clarinet section. Uh, like So this first excerpt I'm going to show you is the main part. So it starts off pretty slow, this piece of music, but it gets a lot harder, like at this one place where it says vivace. And once you get to the vivace, you get to the main theme. This main theme lasts throughout like the beginning of the song, but it isn't really brought up again. I think it is at the very end, but it's not brought up again until the end. But it's played a lot at this point of the song, and uh, it goes like. But the first thing I'm going to show you is after all of that, it goes just for the first clarinets. It gets to a very high notes. It goes and that last is like that note is especially hard to hit, especially for intermediate players in eighth grade. So it was a very tough note to hit. In the concert, it was very nerve wracking to hit that note because we actually had three concerts playing this piece because it was a very tough piece. And it sounds a lot better when that note is hit and when it's not hit. But here, I'm going to go play that excerpt now. Okay, so now I'm going to play that piece again, but only with the first clarinet part to show the difference. Okay, so as you can see there, it did get very high, the note, and on the clarinet, I don't know how that guy made it sound so nice, but in eighth grade, that note did not sound that nice. That part was a lot more screechy, but that's what made this piece a little bit fun. You had to practice. Now, let me talk about my experience as an eighth grader when playing this. I didn't get the first part. However, like I said, there was three concerts, and I was fourth chair, and we only had three chairs for the first part for some reason, probably because it was so loud, because of the high notes. But basically, in the playtest, I tied, but I think I lost in the playoff or something like that, so I was in fourth chair, and I didn't get to play, but I continued to practice the first part, not because I knew I might have a time to shine or something. I just thought it was pretty fun to play. So I practiced the first part, and in this one concert in Silverwood, apparently I did have to step in to play, and I was able to pull it off, which I was a little bit impressed by. There was another hard piece that we had to play, but the variations I was able to pull off very well. Uh, and let's go on to the next part. This part is, to me, the really difficult part because it basically takes the main theme and just completely spins it on his head. Like it, I feel like the notes just go all over the place. I don't know. Whoever was writing this must have been scribbling a lot because it was very different. Let me just play the expert real quick. So as you can see, that piece was completely different. It starts off the normal. That's how it's supposed to go, but it starts off like that, but then it just completely goes berserk. The notes get a lot higher, and they follow a different pattern. They use different flats and stuff. It becomes a. It sounds very different, but it still has like that same tempo and pace and going up and down and stuff. So it doesn't go an octave higher. I think it goes like half an octave higher. But I remember for the playtest for this song, he said that he will be doing it any part between vivace to this part. And I'm so glad he didn't do this part because no one really was able to play this part at that time. It was very tough. Later, people were able to play it, obviously, for the concert, or else that will have sounded really bad. But when practicing, no one was really, at first, no one was able to play this part. No one even touched this part because we all thought that the part before that was octave or half an octave lower was hard. So this thing was crazy for us. Like this was a really tough part. And as you can see, it also ends with a dun and with a then again back to half an octave higher. But instead of going up like it did earlier in the last excerpt or 2 excerpts ago, it goes down the note. So I found that pretty interesting. And yeah, I guess that's all I have to talk about for today's podcast. I didn't really cover the whole song because I could do a whole other podcast for the rest of the song because it becomes a completely different piece basically. It only ties the theme back towards the very end. So it's a very interesting piece. If I were a music director, I definitely recommend having your kids play this piece. It's very fun, and I feel like all the parts get involved with this. This piece is just really a good piece for anyone to use. Yeah, that's all. Thanks for listening to the podcast.